Hi guys, thanks for tuning in to another video episode on ForgottenWeapons.com. I'm Ian, and today I'm here at the Scottsdale Gun Club. They've very generously let us use their facilities, and we have a really cool pistol, as always. We have a Match 45. This is one of 3 examples of this gun built by a gentleman named George Wilson in Pennsylvania in 1960. He patented it, or had his patent granted in 1961, and he was, as you can tell by this pistol, a bullseye competitive target shooter. And this was his attempt at designing an ideal 45 caliber bullseye gun. And it's really cool. So we figured we'd have access to this one, pull it in and take it apart and do some shooting and see how it works. Now what makes this unusual, well, several things, but to start with, it has a locking wedge, kind of like a P38. So you'll see when I pull the slide back, this locking wedge right here drops down. That unlocks the gun. So it's a short recoil operation with that dropping wedge for locking. In addition, the design is set up primarily for bullseye shooting. So the axis of the bore up here is basically right in line with the shooter's grip. So this should minimize muzzle flip. The front sight is actually fixed directly to the barrel. The rear sight is on the frame, but when the gun is locked up, the barrel is locked solidly onto the frame. So your front and rear sights are in good alignment, repeatable alignment every time. It does use a modified 1911 magazine with a heel release. So you can see this looks very much like a 1911 magazine, but it has a different follower to give the cartridges a slightly different angle. That's because the grip angle is proprietary here. Has a very wide, very smooth trigger, again ideal for bullseye shooting, and an extremely nice, light, crisp trigger pull. Alright, so to start disassembly, we have a lever here on the side with a pin extending out here. What we're going to do is pull the slide back until we hit just the right disassembly point. We can pop the lever through and pull it out, and then everything kind of falls out. This would not be a good military pistol. There's way too many little dinky parts in it. However, it is an outstanding bullseye design. Now this little rotating or pivoting lobed piece right here is what causes our locking wedge to engage and disengage. So this whole slide and barrel assembly will recoil backwards until this hits the rear of the frame right here. When it hits that, it pushes this lobe forward, which pushes the locking wedge down, which allows, well, obviously the barrel stops being held in place by the frame and the slide continues backward, where it can eject the spent case and load the next one. We can take this apart a bit more. We can slide the barrel out. This slide assembly is actually surprisingly heavy. I expect that's to reduce felt recoil by having a large weight of the reciprocating parts. We have our locking wedge, which comes out here. And you'll notice a similarity to the design of the Walther P38 with a two wedge system like that. One other really interesting feature of this Wilson 45, and by the way, this has absolutely no relation to Wilson Combat and 1911. This fellow just happened to be named Wilson. This piece in here, so we can see the feed ramp right there. That is actually the center of the hammer. There are lobes or surfaces on both sides that act as the hammer. They come back and hit the firing pin here and here. So, clever use of one part to do 2 functions, to act as both the hammer and as the feed ramp. As you can see, we have dual recoil springs. Fairly small in diameter, and they're located right along the axis of the bore. overall, this is just an exquisitely manufactured pistol. Wilson put an incredible amount of effort into it, obviously. 3 of these were made in 1960, and that's all. I'm not sure if he intended to go into production and couldn't, or if he just made several for himself. But numerically speaking, this is probably one of the rarest guns that we've had a chance to look at. So I'm going to go ahead and reassemble this, and then we can put a few rounds through it. All right, so my background is kind of in bullseye, so I'm going to shoot this bullseye style like it's meant to be. We've got 5 rounds of 45 ball loaded up. Let's see how it does. So the functions of this pistol really work like they should. The high bore axis makes it really comfortable to shoot. It's got a great trigger on it. I would love to have one of these to compete with bullseye in. George Wilson did a fantastic job. I'd love to talk to him. I don't expect he's around anymore, unfortunately. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I would like to again thank the Scottsdale Gun Club for letting us use their facilities here. We appreciate it. Tune back in to ForgottenWeapons.com for more cool handguns.